Welcome to this week's episode of Your Stock Request for the 1st of March. Every week I'll look at the charts for a few different stocks as requested by you. Just email us at mail@fairmontequities.com. There's a limit of one per person and there's no guarantee that your stock will be covered depending on the demand. Just also make sure that you share this video on social media, Twitter and Facebook. The more requests we get, the more chance we have to find something that's very interesting. And also just take note of our disclaimer. Any advice is general only. The first request today is Woodside. So this is one that we've traded for clients over the last year. So originally at these levels. So this is a weekly chart. Looking at this stock about a year ago, we expected it to fall towards 30, no lower than 28. So it seemed to read from the script nicely, and then it obviously had a pretty good run. I'll just move out to a daily chart. So here was the previous resistance, broke through, had a nice rally. A number of clients who held good profits sold out, and obviously it came back with the rest of the market, announced a capital raising, and then fell even further. So the raising's at $27. Woodside at the moment is trading around 29, and it's already gone ex-dividend, so it's holding up fairly well. Obviously, if it holds above this low, that's a good sign, and it seems to be doing that at the moment. So in my opinion, it looks like a good level to be picking up some Woodside, and I expect it to head higher during the course of the year. The other stock we have is Karoon Gas. So this one, I have been positive on it. I have been positive on it before. It's had a bit of a run, and then it's sort of come off and then fell the rest of the market. So it's now looking a little bit more neutral. So this is a daily chart going back, say, the last 6 months. You'll see that we've got this low here in August. So it was making higher highs and higher lows. But now it's come back to retest that low in August. So at the moment it's holding. Just have to see what it wants to do. Is it going to hold here and rally, or is it going to fall? I guess it's one of those stocks that just doesn't seem to have a lot of positive momentum, or doesn't have any positive momentum. So I guess if there was something that looked better, you'd consider getting into a different stock than holding onto Karoon Gas. Otherwise, if you don't have any better ideas, then it'd be worth holding on to just to see if it can respect this low from August and get going. So at the moment, I guess I'm neutral on the prospects for the moment. The next stock we have is Apium Animal Health, AHX, not one I'm familiar with. So I'm just moving out to a weekly chart. So it looks like it's only been listed a couple of years. Obviously it's dominated by this big drop off in the middle of last year. It's managed to recover a bit, but it looks, this rally since those lows looks like a bit of a struggle, and now it's starting to round out and fall back. So at the moment I think it's going to come back and retest this previous low near 60 cents. Just the fact that we can see here that it's getting a little bit dominated by the bears now. So a bit of selling, struggle to go higher. The selling kicks in. So it's essentially given up on this uptrend and is now looking like it's starting to head into a bit of a downtrend again. So not one that I'd be rushing into. The next stock we have is Catapult, CAT. So this is a weekly chart. So we have a previous peak here in mid 2016, and it's been trending down ever since. So what's interesting here is that while it looked like it tried to get going from these lows a few months ago, clearly we could see that these highs haven't breached the previous high. So it hasn't actually. So on a shorter term scale, it's made, I guess, a higher high and a couple of higher lows, but in terms of this downtrend, it hasn't broken this downtrend yet. So what's now become clear is that this is merely just a flag within a downtrend. And now we've broken under that, it should go to a new low and keep heading lower for the time being. In terms of support, look, I guess when it first listed a few years ago, it was back near 50 cents. I can't predict if it's going to go there or not, but based on price action, I'd say that this low from last year is going to get taken out, and we'll see the stock trading here closer to $1. And finally, we've got a couple of banks, ANZ and NAB. So ANZ first, I had a look at the banks for our paying clients a number of weeks ago. ANZ, I'm still looking at it to firstly potentially bounce from here and then potentially go lower. So I'll just move to a daily chart. So we could see that it has retested this low in June and then bounced. But what's interesting here is that just over that $29 mark, there's quite a bit of resistance. So we can see that it's tagged that level a few times. It's now come back to that level, and in the last couple of days, just zoom in. So we can see here for the last couple of days, it's found resistance and just can't head higher. So it'll come back a bit. Maybe it'll even take out this low, and ultimately, moving to a weekly chart, maybe it'll ultimately go to a slightly new low near $27. But yeah, at the moment it's not looking, price action for the short term for ANZ not looking overly bullish. NAB on the other hand, I think looks pretty good. So this one's done exactly everything that we, I guess, expected it to or hoped it would. So firstly, we're looking at a rally from the 2016 low to a peak there in 2017, and then the shares came off. So first thing that I noticed is if we get the Fibonacci tool and measure the length of this rally, you'll see that it's pretty much come back to a 61.8% retracement and sat on the 50%. So when I was looking for targets, downside targets with NAB, I had $28, and we can see here it actually got to $28.01. So that's the first, I guess the first reason why that was good support. Moving to a daily chart. So this is the peak there in 2017. The other thing I was looking for was a nice three-wave decline where we have A, B, C. Often A is equal to C. So if I grab the Fibonacci tool and I just measure that, so there's that distance for A. And if I look at, if I put the top of it at the beginning of the C wave, we could see that it also gives us about $28. So we've had a pullback to a key level, 28. We've got an ABC correction, which measures very nicely. Moving in on the daily chart, we could see how NAB opened here at $28.01 and then rallied, and then ever since then it's been heading higher. Obviously there was a bit of resistance here, so this is the equivalent level that ANZ was struggling with, but NAB's managed to go through it. So at the moment NAB's looking a little bit more bullish out of the two between ANZ and NAB. NAB looks like the better candidate. So I was happy to pick up some NAB at my target level for some clients, and I'm still happy to hold it. Most likely we'll run it into the next, or just before the next dividend. Often you'll find that the banks will come off about a month before they go ex. So, you know, if we're sitting on a fairly good 10% plus profit a month out from the ex dividend date, it might be worth considering taking that off the table. All right, well that's it for today. As always, if you have a request, send it through, and do the right thing and share this page on social media.